Think your daily shower is keeping you clean and healthy after 70? Think again. New research reveals that what you've been taught about hygiene could be silently damaging your skin, draining your energy, and even putting you at risk of life-threatening falls. The truth? For seniors, less is more isn't just a saying. It's a science-backed survival strategy. Here's why bathing less often could be the key to staying safer, stronger, and healthier in your golden years. 1. Daily showers age your skin faster. The science no one talks about. That squeaky clean feeling you love? After 70, it's not freshness, it's a red alert. Your skin isn't just changing, it's under siege. Decades of research from Harvard and the National Institute on Aging reveal a brutal truth. The very act of bathing daily, especially with hot water, accelerates skin breakdown in ways that mirror accelerated aging. Here's what's really happening beneath the surface. As we cross 70, our skin undergoes a silent mutiny. Oil production plummets by nearly half, sweat glands slow to a crawl, and the outer layer thins until it's more fragile than ancient parchment. Every steaming shower acts like a scalding eraser, scrubbing away the last traces of sebum, nature's built-in armor. At first, you'll notice the tightness, that parched sensation like wearing a mask of dry glue. Then comes the itching, relentless and deep, as nerve endings flare in protest. Left unchecked, this cascade leads to xerosis, a medical term for skin so severely dehydrated it cracks like drought-stricken earth. These aren't just cosmetic nuisances. Each microscopic fissure becomes a highway for bacteria, inviting infections that can spiral into cellulitis or worse. But the damage runs deeper. Hot water annihilates lipids, the fatty molecules that act as mortar between skin cells, while most soaps, even gentle ones, hurl the skin's pH balance into chaos. Imagine dumping vinegar on an open wound. That's what alkaline cleansers do to aging skin's delicate acid mantle. The result? A landscape of inflammation, where eczema flares and dermatitis thrive. And let's talk pain. For seniors with arthritis, scrubbing dry patches can feel like rubbing sandpaper on fresh burns. The irony? We do this to ourselves chasing cleanliness, when in reality, the body has its own genius cleaning system. Your skin is a living ecosystem, home to beneficial microbes that wage war on pathogens and oils that self-regulate moisture. Daily showers drown these allies. The fix is simpler than you'd think. Cut back to bathing 2 to 3 times weekly with lukewarm water, using pH balance cleansers only where needed. Think armpits and groin. Within weeks, most seniors report skin that's less itchy, more resilient, and, here's the kicker, actually cleaner, as its natural defenses reboot. This isn't just dermatology, it's a survival hack. Fewer showers mean fewer falls. More on that later. Fewer infections and less fatigue. Your skin wasn't designed for daily warfare. It's time to lay down the arms. 2. The dirty truth. How overbathing invites infections. We've been conditioned to believe that frequent washing equals protection. But for seniors, this mantra isn't just wrong, it's dangerous. Groundbreaking studies from Johns Hopkins reveal a paradox. Those who bathe less after 70 actually experience fewer hospitalizations for skin infections. Here's why modern hygiene science is turning tradition on its head. Your skin is designed to be a fortress with microscopic guards patrolling its surface. These beneficial bacteria, like Staphylococcus epidermidis, aren't just harmless, they're essential. They crowd out dangerous pathogens, produce natural antibiotics, and even train your immune system. But each hot shower is like flooding your castle moat, washing away these loyal defenders. What's left? A vulnerable landscape where hostile invaders like MRSA and Streptococcus thrive. The mechanics of infection are particularly cruel for aging skin. As we discussed earlier, thinning skin develops micro tears from simple friction, pulling on socks, sliding into bed, even hugging grandchildren. These tiny fissures, invisible to the naked eye, become perfect entry points for bacteria. Most people don't realize that 60% of senior skin infections originate from these minor breaches, not major wounds. When you compound this with daily washing that strips protective oils, you're essentially rolling out a red carpet for pathogens. But here's what no one tells you. Dirt isn't the enemy. In fact, mild exposure to everyday microbes actually strengthens the skin's ecosystem. It's the repeated bombardment with hot water and harsh soaps that does the real damage. Geriatricians now recognize what tribal cultures knew instinctively. The body maintains a careful equilibrium when left to its own devices. The solution? A revolutionary approach called strategic washing. Focus on high-risk areas, groin, underarms, with warm water and mild cleansers, while letting other zones self-regulate. For the rest, a simple rinse without soap preserves both protective oils and beneficial microbes. Clinical trials show this method reduces skin infections in seniors by up to 38% compared to daily full-body washing. This isn't about lowering standards. It's about redefining cleanliness for a body that's wiser than our cultural habits. Sometimes, the purest form of hygiene is knowing when to leave well enough alone. 3. The slippery slope. How daily showers become deadly ***. That morning ritual you follow for decades, it's quietly become one of the most dangerous moments of your day. The statistics are chilling. Every 11 seconds, a senior's rush to the ER from a bathroom fall. But here's what emergency rooms won't tell you. The majority of these accidents happen during or immediately after bathing. This isn't about clumsiness. It's about physiology betraying you in ways modern bathrooms were never designed to accommodate. Let's break down the perfect storm. First, hot water dilates blood vessels, causing a sudden drop in blood pressure. For seniors with already compromised circulation, this can trigger dizziness before you even realize you're in trouble. Then there's the steam. It's not just fog on your mirror. That humidity fills your lungs with thickened air, reducing oxygen intake by up to 15% according to pulmonary studies. Your brain, already struggling with age-related slower reflexes, now faces this oxygen deficit while demanding precise motor control on wet surfaces. The bathroom itself is a minefield of poor design. Standard tubs require a 17-inch leg lift to enter, equivalent to climbing a stair while balancing on one foot. Porcelain becomes 300% more slippery when wet, and the temperature change from warm shower to cool bathroom can cause dangerous muscle contractions. Even something as simple as turning to grab soap alters your center of gravity in ways your proprioception can't properly track after 70. But here's the cruelest twist, the exhaustion factor. What feels like a refreshing shower actually drains seniors' energy reserves equivalent to a 20-minute walk. The combination of standing, heat exposure, and the mental focus required for balance leaves many needing to lie down immediately after, often when fall risk is highest. Physical therapists call this post-bathing collapse, and it's why most senior falls occur between 8 to 10 a.m. when morning routines peak. The solution isn't more grab bars, though they help. It's fewer high-risk encounters. Reducing showers to every other day cuts fall exposure by half immediately. On non-shower days, targeted cleaning of odor-prone areas with pre-moistened wipes maintains hygiene without the danger. For those who insist on daily washing, switching to seated evening rinses when energy levels are higher can reduce accidents by nearly 40%. This isn't about giving up independence. It's about redefining self-care to match what your body can actually handle. The goal isn't to stop living. It's to keep living without becoming another statistic. Sometimes the safest step is actually stepping out of the shower altogether. Safety is so important. Have you made any changes to your bathroom to prevent falls? Your ideas might inspire others. Please share them in the comments. If you'd like more tips like this, we'd be grateful if you'd subscribe. 4. Nature's invisible cleaning crew. Why your skin knows best. That faint earthy scent you try to scrub away each morning? It's actually the smell of millions of microscopic custodians hard at work. Far from being dirty, your skin after 70 operates like a self-regulating biosphere, one that's been perfectly tuned by evolution to clean, protect, and renew itself without your interference. Modern hygiene rituals disrupt this ancient wisdom in ways that leave seniors paradoxically more vulnerable. Beneath the surface of what you see, an entire civilization of beneficial microbes wages constant battle on your behalf. Species like Cutibacterium acnes, long misunderstood as mere acne-causing bacteria, actually serve as your skin's maintenance crew, breaking down dead cells and sweat into compounds that naturally repel dangerous pathogens. These microscopic allies produce antimicrobial peptides so sophisticated that pharmaceutical companies try, and fail, to replicate them in labs. Meanwhile, the very oils you wash away form a dynamic protective film that simultaneously hydrates your skin while creating an acidic force field against fungal and bacterial invaders. The tragedy of daily showering lies in its indiscriminate destruction. Each hot water deluge doesn't just remove surface grime. It annihilates entire populations of these protective microbes, while stripping the sebum that feeds their replacements. Harsh soaps compound the damage by altering your skin's pH from its natural, slightly acidic state, perfect for controlling harmful bacteria, to an alkaline environment where pathogens thrive. The result? Skin that's paradoxically more prone to infections, irritation, and dryness precisely because we've overcleaned it. Clinical observations reveal the consequences. Nursing homes that adopted microbiome-friendly washing protocols, where residents bathed just 2 to 3 times weekly with pH-balanced cleansers, saw dramatic reductions in medication needs. Antibiotic prescriptions for skin infections dropped by nearly half, while emollient use for dryness decreased by 60%. Even more telling, residents reported fewer complaints about itching and discomfort, proving that what feels like clean often comes at the cost of comfort. The path forward requires respecting your skin's intelligence. Focus cleansing efforts where it matters most: hands, facial creases, and groin areas, while allowing other regions to benefit from nature's self-regulating systems. When you do wash, think of it as tending a garden rather than sterilizing a countertop. Lukewarm water, brief contact time, and gentle pH-balanced cleansers preserve both microbes and protective oils. This isn't a call to abandon hygiene, but to redefine it. True cleanliness after 70 means working with your body's brilliant design rather than against it. Sometimes the most sophisticated health intervention is simply stepping back and letting millions of years of evolutionary wisdom do its job. 5. The expert consensus. Why less is undeniably more. The medical establishment has reached a quiet but revolutionary consensus. The century-old dogma of daily showers was never grounded in science, especially for seniors. When geriatricians, dermatologists, and infectious disease specialists quietly compare notes, they arrive at the same startling conclusion. For adults over 70, bathing more than twice weekly often does more harm than good. This isn't a fringe opinion. It's the culmination of decades of research now crystallizing into formal guidelines. Major health institutions have begun codifying this shift. The American Geriatric Society's latest clinical advisories explicitly state that unless medically necessary, full-body bathing should be limited to 2 to 3 sessions weekly for seniors. Johns Hopkins Geriatric Unit goes further, suggesting that unless a patient has visible soiling or specific conditions like incontinence, even once weekly bathing suffices when supplemented by targeted cleaning of odor-prone areas. The reasoning is both physiological and practical. Aging skin requires 72 to 96 hours to rebuild its lipid barrier after a single washing, a process that daily showers chronically interrupt. Meanwhile, studies tracking senior populations show no measurable difference in infections or social acceptability between those bathing daily versus twice weekly. In fact, the only statistically significant differences favored the less frequent bathers: fewer skin tears, lower rates of contact dermatitis, and, most surprisingly, reduced urinary tract infections, likely due to preserved protective genital microbiota. But perhaps the most damning evidence comes from global comparisons. In Japan, where many seniors traditionally bathe daily in hot onsens, geriatric wards report 3x higher rates of bathing-related complications than in Sweden, where weekly saunas paired with sink washes are the norm. The World Health Organization's Blue Zones research adds another clue. The planet's healthiest elderly populations, from Okinawa to Sardinia, share a cultural tendency toward minimal soap use and water-efficient cleaning rituals. Implementing this wisdom requires unlearning a lifetime of marketing. Start by redefining clean, not as the absence of soapy fragrance, but as the presence of intact skin, balanced microbes, and conserved energy. Use this sniff test rule. If specific areas, feet, groin, underarms, need attention, address them with a washcloth. No full shower required. For everything else, trust that your body's self-maintenance systems, honed over millennia, know better than yesterday's advertising jingles. This isn't about lowering standards. It's about elevating our respect for how aging bodies actually function. The experts aren't suggesting neglect. They're advocating for precision hygiene, the art of doing exactly what's needed and not a drop more. How often do you typically bathe? We're curious about your routines and what's worked for you. Join the conversation below. 6. The exhaustion equation. How daily showers steal your precious energy. That post-shower fatigue you dismiss as normal? It's not just tiredness. It's your body paying a hidden tax on a ritual that no longer serves you. While younger bodies rebound effortlessly from bathing's demands, seniors face a brutal arithmetic. The energy expended during a 10-minute shower often requires 3 to 4 hours of recovery. This isn't about cleanliness. It's about an unsustainable energy drain that robs you of life's meaningful moments. The physiology behind this exhaustion reveals why showers become so debilitating after 70. As hot water hits your skin, your circulatory system undergoes seismic stress. Blood vessels dilate rapidly, forcing your heart to work 25 to 30% harder to maintain pressure, the cardiovascular equivalent of climbing stairs while standing still. For those with undiagnosed heart conditions, this creates dangerous strain that lingers for hours. Simultaneously, the humid environment starves your lungs of optimal oxygen. Steam-filled air carries 15% less breathable oxygen, leaving many seniors lightheaded before they even reach for the towel. The physical costs compound ruthlessly. Standing upright for prolonged periods burns through glucose reserves at twice the normal rate. Precious fuel your body could use for enjoying grandchildren or tending gardens. The simple act of raising arms to wash hair consumes a day's worth of shoulder joint lubrication, while bending to clean feet demands flexibility many lost years ago. Occupational therapists call this the hygiene paradox, the cruel reality that maintaining basic cleanliness often leaves seniors too depleted to engage with life. But the greatest damage emerges afterward. That overwhelming need to rest post-shower? It's not relaxation. It's your body diverting all resources to emergency recovery. Your liver processes heat stress toxins. Your muscles repair microscopic damage from exertion. And your nervous system struggles to recalibrate temperature regulation. Most seniors unknowingly sacrifice entire mornings or afternoons recovering for what was once a refreshing routine. The solution lies in reimagining hygiene as energy conservation. Consider transitioning to brief evening rinses when your body naturally handles heat stress better, using a sturdy shower chair to eliminate the cardiovascular tax of standing. Focus on strategic cleaning. A damp washcloth for odor-prone areas preserves dignity while saving enough energy for an extra hour in the garden or one more chapter of a beloved book. Remember, true independence isn't measured by how often you shower, but by how much vitality remains for living fully after you turn off the water. 7. Redefining clean. The liberating truth about senior hygiene. That faint lavender scent clinging to your skin after a shower? It's not just soap residue. It's the ghost of an outdated cultural obsession. We stand at a hygiene crossroads where medical evidence collides with generations of marketing brainwashing. The revolutionary truth emerging from geriatric research is simple. True cleanliness for seniors has almost nothing to do with how often you bathe, and everything to do with working in harmony with your body's changing needs. The science leaves no room for debate. When researchers tracked seniors who reduced bathing frequency to 2 to 3 times weekly, they uncovered paradoxical improvements across every health metric. Skin integrity strengthened, infection rates plummeted, and, most tellingly, participants reported feeling more energetic and socially engaged than their daily bathing counterparts. This isn't anecdotal. It's physiology revealing its wisdom. Your aging skin, with its slower cell turnover and diminished oil production, fundamentally operates on a different biological schedule than it did at 40 or 50. But the real transformation happens in mindset. Consider the Japanese concept of hadaka no tsukiai, the intimacy of being comfortably bare with others. In senior communities embracing reduced bathing schedules, caregivers report deeper social connections, forming as residents spend less time isolated in bathrooms and more time engaged in living. The energy saved from avoiding daily shower marathons gets redirected into conversations, hobbies, and simple pleasures that actually define quality of life. Practical implementation requires 3 mindset shifts. First, recognize that odor originates from specific zones, armpits, groin, feet, that can be maintained with targeted cleaning. Second, embrace textile hygiene. Fresh clothes do 60% of the work we falsely attribute to showers. Finally, understand that skin's natural oils are features, not bugs. That slight sheen on your forearm is nature's perfect moisturizer and antimicrobial shield combined. This isn't about lowering standards. It's about elevating your understanding of what cleanliness means after 70. The most radical act of self-care might be hanging up your washcloth an extra day each week. Because in the end, what matters isn't how often you lather up, but how much living you can squeeze from each precious day. True hygiene should empower your life, not dictate it. Conclusion: the liberating power of less. The greatest myth we've been sold about aging is the idea that maintaining vitality means clinging to the rituals of youth. But a quiet revolution is unfolding in geriatric clinics and research labs worldwide, revealing a transformative truth. True well-being after 70 comes not from more effort, but from the wisdom to redistribute your precious physical resources where they matter most. For generations, we've approached senior hygiene with what doctors now call the bulldozer mentality, treating thinning skin, slower healing, and depleted energy as enemies to conquer rather than biological realities to honor. Yet the emerging science, confirmed by the lived experience of centenarians in longevity hotspots around the world, shows there's profound liberation in adapting your habits to work with your body's natural evolution rather than against it. This shift in perspective represents anything but surrender. Each shower you thoughtfully skip returns a priceless hour to your day, time that might be spent tending roses or laughing with grandchildren. Every skin tear avoided through gentler cleansing means one less painful wound dressing changing. The microbial allies you preserve by not overwashing stand as an invisible army against infections that once meant stressful hospital visits. The path forward becomes clear when we silence the marketing noise and listen to our biology. Modern science confirms what our grandmothers knew instinctively, that cleanliness and health flourish when we trust our body's self-maintenance systems. The energy conserved by bathing smarter rather than more frequently becomes fuel for what truly nourishes the soul. Conversations that stretch into twilight, hands deep in garden soil, or simply the strength to savor morning sunlight through your favorite window. Your golden years deserve standards measured not in frequency of washing, but in quality of living. For in the end, the true measure of a life well lived will never be counted in showers taken, but in moments fully cherished, each one made possible by the courage to embrace what your body is telling you it truly needs. If this discussion has been valuable to you, we'd be so grateful if you could like this video to help others in our community discover it. Your experiences matter. Please share your thoughts or personal insights in the comments below. If you know someone who might benefit from this information, passing along could make a real difference in their life. For more research-backed guidance on thriving in your later years, we'd be honored to have you subscribe to our channel. Together, let's continue redefining what it means to age wisely.